Welcome to Legend Makers, the podcast where education's true heroes take center stage. All right, we are back for another episode of the Legend Makers podcast. I have with me Wendy Albert. Hey, Wendy, how you doing?
Hey, how are you?
Good. Where are you, in Houston?
Yes, I'm in Houston, Texas. Currently, I'm eating at Eden Plant Company. This is a beautiful coffee place in Post Houston. It has a lot of plants and it's super duper organic. So it's very good ambiance.
I love it. No, I'm loving the plants. It looks great. So you are a prominent cybersecurity expert. You're VP of WiCyS?
Yes, WiCyS Houston.
WiCyS Houston, and the founder CEO of Onyx Cyber. That's a nonprofit dedicated to enhancing diversity within the tech and cybersecurity sectors. So I've been looking forward to this. I've been watching. You're posting everything around on point, by the way. Do some social media over here. I'll hook you up with my girl Ariana. The two of you will crush it. So Wendy, nice to meet you. Tell everybody about yourself that I don't know from the bio.
Yeah, so Scott, thank you for having me. For starters, I went to Mary Hardin Baylor, where I studied for computer science as a BS in computer science. I was there from 2015 to 2018, and I learned a lot. I learned about discrete structures, binary numbers, programming languages, C++, C#, Java, computer security, web development, you name it. I have a background in it. Even touched Java. Java's not my favorite, but I had a touch in Java. From there, I moved to Virginia to get started as a government contractor. I worked for some amazing companies, just to name a couple: Base Systems, Peraton, Booz Allen Hamilton. And I did a lot of defense contracting in my early days. And I decided, the diversity and the inclusion in the tech space in that area was just amazing. And I was like, I wish that I could do this in my home state, close to my hometown. I think we can grow so much in tech if I was to go there and make a mission. So I was on a mission determined to leave from government contracting and work in the private sector. I ended up getting a job working in the private sector as a senior security engineer, and I ended up moving back to Texas. And when I moved back, I had this mission for Onyx Cyber Incorporated. At the time, it was my consulting agency where I was consulting people into getting in the tech space. And I just still feel like I could reconstruct that wasn't enough. So I took some time to myself, worked on my entire, skill set in my job, as well as I was working on my dissertation. So I am a doctoral candidate now. So I am working.
Nice, congrats.
Thank you so much. So I will be a doctor of information technology and subject matter expert in cybersecurity information assurance. So I'm super excited for this journey I have. During that 3-year mark, I was like, I have to come hard. I have to do something for my community. I have to give back. So I decided to establish Onyx Cyber Incorporated in the end of 2024, early 2025. And I've been pushing it now this whole year to build the brand up. My whole entire mission is to help lower income areas and underrepresented communities get the access to tech resources that they need. It's a huge demographic for some of us that are trying to get in the tech space and learn about it, but we don't have the resources. I see the boot camps being posted. I see people saying like, oh, just come learn with me, who have no experience in the tech space. And it just makes me so irked because I'm like, I do this, I can help in the right way. So I decided to orchestrate this in the right direction for our communities. And my real big focus right now is just helping the youth as well. That's a need there. At some point, my time will be out of the tech space, and there's going to be young talent coming in to take my space. And they're not going to replace me. They're just going to enhance what I built. So I want them to be able to build what we're creating now and make it better for not just, Texas, multiple places in our industry. Maybe nationwide is really the goal.
Yeah.
And this time, though, I was appointed VP for WiCyS Houston in January 2025 on our leadership board. So I was super excited to come in. With WiCyS Houston, there's a global organization that was founded, and we have smaller chapters in major cities across the nation that's growing. So they have their own leadership board, they have their own teams that they run, and our job is basically to help women in the cybersecurity space. So we advocate for women who want to advance their skills as a professional, who are looking for mentorship, who are looking for counsel, or maybe looking for sponsorships. We're trying to take their exams, and we push these women to their better efforts and helping their career navigate in a good community as we network together. So that's the mission for WiCyS. And I'm always busy doing that doggone dissertation.
Yeah, you got the dissertation, so you're busy. All right, good, man. I love you. Turn you on and let you go. I like it. All right, this is good. No, you don't know, there's nothing worse than people that don't talk when you're doing this. So
I know.
I'm a talker and I like to do all the talking. I like to let you do the talking. Hey,
Okay.
so let's unpack some of that. Okay. So you're doing your dissertation. When are you finishing that up?
Okay, so I started, actually was admitted into the program in 2021. The early
Mm-hmm.
stages required me to take a lot of coursework, a lot
Yep.
of writing preparation, and now I finally got moved to doctoral candidacy in 2025. Right
Mm-hmm.
now, I am borderline phase 3. My program is 5 phases. Phase 3 is IRB approval and CITI certifications. I finished my CITI certification. Right now, I'm just on IRB approval phase where they can give me the green light to collect my data. Once I collect data, I'll move on to writing the draft of my dissertation for my qualitative research study. And then I will have it move to the final drafting phase, which they will review my draft and let me know if that needs to make edits, what needs to be fixed.
Nice.
And then I will go into the part where we do a final presentation to the board and I'll submit the final draft copy and I'll get a yes or no.
Okay. Wow.
We want a yes the first time.
Yeah, you
Once they keep
do.
yeah. And this I have really been speeding through this process. I want to say I have until like the end of the year. I could be done by the end of the year. I
Okay.
could be done early in Q1 of 2027,
But you're
2026.
busy. But you're busy.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
WiCyS, tell me more about WiCyS. So you cut your time between your dissertation, WiCyS, and Onyx Cybersecurity. So you're juggling at least those three, and I'm sure more
Mhm.
things in the air. So I want you to tell me how you do it, number one, and number two, tell me more about like WiCyS and your role there, and exactly like dive a little deeper into WiCyS for me.
Yeah, of course. So, WiCyS in Houston is, like I said, dedicated to helping those women that are professionals in the tech space. What drives me for WiCyS Houston is my passion for this technology space. There's a huge gap of women that are like in the cybersecurity positions or work in tech or even just in leadership positions. So I feel like us coming together as a community, whether we have in-person events or virtual events,
Mm,
is boosting
mm,
everyone's confidence, so that we can,
yeah,
I can do this. I can become a leader in the tech space. I can change the
sure.
demographics. It could be more women in these type of roles. We are as smart as as other males, so we
Yeah.
can really push for this effort. And I know Lisa's is like it could be a lot on my plate sometimes, but just these women and their passion drives me, and also just my own passion, desire to make a change, and also just help other people is what really pushes me in an effort. In Houston, we have realigned and focused on having our mentorship program. So we've just created our own mentorship program in WiCyS Houston, where we'll have CISOs, we'll have people that are leaders connect with other people who are looking for mentors that want to be in the roles that they have in the tech space.
So if
It's
somebody
good for
wants to get into WiCyS, I'm sorry, I'm so curious. So I'm
Mhm.
sorry to cut you off, but I want to understand. So your role there is, are you like recruiting? Are you tell me about what you specifically do. What does a day in the life for Wendy at WiCyS look like? Right? Like, what do you do
Yes.
there? Mm-hmm.
So we have a president and we have a vice president. I'm in the role
Uh-huh.
currently as the vice president. So
Okay.
our role is basically just like you're saying, to recruit, retain, and to empower the women in the
Mm-hmm.
WiCyS network. So we're constantly
Okay.
making sure that as the president and vice president, we're the face of WiCyS Houston. We want to make sure, and not but just us, other people in the leadership are the face of our chapter. So if we see people that, like, for example, I'm out at a coffee shop, I see a group of women that work in the tech space. I'm going to approach
Mm-hmm.
them and be like, "Hi, my name is Wendy Albert. I'm the vice president for WiCyS Houston. We're looking to add more women to our community to help us grow in the
Mm.
Houston area and network with each other." So that's my job on a day-to-day
Okay.
basis. And
Okay.
so what?
Good.
Yeah. So if you reach out to me on social media
You're
or
a
you have a
networker.
right. So I just network people to our organization and I help
Uh-huh.
where I see fit. We have multiple operations that go on behind the scenes for keeping it running for us. And I don't like to overstep boundaries for anybody else that they're doing other things for us. I appreciate the efforts that they have. So in my space, I just pick up the slack where it's needed. If I need to show up, if I need to make a video, if I need to post something, I'm going to do it because it's helping our
Mm.
chapter.
Mm-hmm. So if somebody, how old are the people in like WiCyS? Are you dealing with adults? Is it high school, college level? Like, so if I'm, who's a good candidate for you besides the obvious, right? But like
Right.
age, experience, things like that.
So currently the candidates for us would be obviously the older adult women. So I
Little
would
to
say,
no, okay.
let's say that you're working in your career in cybersecurity and you're 18. You would be a perfect candidate for us. We have a hard stop from college students because there are currently college chapters that they have. Like
Hmm.
UH has their own college chapter for WiCyS and their own president, vice president, secretary, etc. So we like
Hmm.
to push the college kids to that chapter, but for us, it's just for the women. I know there's other WiCyS channels out there and chapters, and they have their own orchestration. Just currently for us, we are accepting like people at the age of 18 and up who are in cybersecurity, working entry level
Okay.
roles. Yeah, so that's perfect for us.
Excellent. Excellent. And so people want to get, if people are interested, they hear this, they can, so you're, I looked at pretty much all of your socials. It's all Wendy in Tech. So is that pretty much
Yes.
where people can find you, at Wendy in Tech, all one?
So you can find me at my actual social media, Wendy Nichelle _ I use Wendy in Tech to brand the technology space, right? So I want to make sure that my personal life is separate from my tech space because I want people to be able to get access to tech locations
Hmm.
for networking, access to how can I study for material, where can I get access to study material for CompTIA or for security, ISC Squared certified in cybersecurity
Hmm.
or Oracle. So I created Wendy in Tech earlier this year because I wanted to have just a space for the tech
Yeah,
culture, for people to find
makes
someone who's
sense.
a good resource. And I didn't want to tie personally to my personal social media accounts because I want people to know like I'm pushing for tech on
Yeah,
Wendy in
sure.
Tech.
And that's
Wendy,
where people
yeah,
can reach
yeah.
you? Yeah, okay, good.
Yes,
So they'll look
you
for
can
you
reach me.
there.
Yeah, and if you want to, like, to see my regular life, you can find me on Wendy
That's
Michelle on Instagram.
Wendy Nichelle. All right, in Instagram. So
Yes,
we're going to send them to
yes,
Wendy in Tech, and you'll send me those links after, and I'll link them to the show notes.
yes.
But if people are interested, if somebody hears this and they say, "I want to look into that and get a hold of Wendy," we'll show you where to find Wendy. And then,
Perfect.
great. So you're now also a founder CEO. So tell me about Onyx.
Yes, so this is like making me super happy because I remember when I created Onyx Cyber Consulting LLC, I had a
Hmm.
mission and drive for Onyx Cyber LLC to be like a consulting mentorship to help people get into the tech space. Obviously, I was a bit younger then. I was only about 24, trying to figure out, okay, how do I do this? How do I figure it out? Well, fast forward, I have had some years under my belt to get it together. So I decided to separate the two. So I
Mm.
decided to establish a nonprofit that strictly focuses on helping people in the lower income areas. I run into people a lot out in Houston or even other places that reach out to me, even from Wendy and Tech postings I make. They'll reach out like, how can I get into tech space? Like, how can I
Hmm.
get access to this? I see so much going on with cybersecurity and people getting
Hmm.
laid off from jobs, or, how would I make sure that I can get into cybersecurity? What role? And I was like, this is a perfect time for me to create Onyx Cyber. These people
Okay.
don't have the access to what I have access to. I'm not going to be the person that's going to gatekeep the information either. I want to see everybody win. So what can I do?
Hmm.
I decided to create Onyx Cyber, create the website for it, and I divided it in 3 different branches. So I have
Okay.
Onyx Academy, which is like basically going to be the educational training pieces, where I'll also end up moving into as an apprenticeship program to get people trained, as well as can have the opportunity to work at different companies to see how it is in the tech space. I have an OnyxCon, which is basically a conference I'm hosting in my hometown, Beaumont, Texas, to help and get our youth the access to like drone simulations like you guys do, like how to build
Hmm.
drones, how to fly drones, what type of engineering this is, gaming, how it is to code and make your own games, even Legos. Building Legos is a part of engineering, and it builds that skill for us to know how to do this in the future if we become future engineers. So I was doing this in my hometown to get back to my city and having it at my local church out there to gravitate for the youth in the area. The last
Nice.
component I
Okay.
have is Onyx Tech Tots. So I'm super excited about my Onyx Tech Tots. And I'm excited because I see other countries, I see everyone out there, they start so much younger when it comes to the STEM space and tech. So for me, I'm pushing to have a program created for younger kids to start off, ages 5 and up, maybe like
Okay.
from 5 to like 15. It's a perfect group to be a part of. And then for that space, I'm going to be pushing out an animated children's book that would be really good about learning about tech in a fun way. So I'm super excited to have that out and making programs that can be dedicated to the youth, not just in, Houston, but I'm pushing to be just worldwide.
National. Cool. And is that ties or tides?
Oh, tots, like, like tots.
Tots.
It's
Oh,
so
like
funny. Yeah,
tots.
yeah, like
Tech
tots.
tots. Oh, I like that
Yes,
even better. Tech tots,
yes,
like tater
yes,
tots. I like it.
yes,
Oh, I love it. Like little tots. I dig it. Oh, I'm
yes.
loving it.
It's
Onyx
actually
Tech
funny because
Tots. No, I
I
like
actually got
Tech Tots.
I,
They're
I got
good.
I got the tots from I'm a fan of The Office. I love The Office. So I know
Yeah.
I know every episode. So I remember when they had Scott Tots and he was
Yeah.
he promised the kids to pay for their schooling. So I was
Hot
like, I like the tots.
Scott
The tots
Tots.
is
I like
cute.
Scott Tots. I've never been called Scott Tots either. Maybe I'll have people call me Scott Tots.
You
Um,
should.
Toddy Toddy, that's what they'll call me. Oh, I love it. Text Tots, that's great. I like the alliteration too. That works from a branding perspective. So very, very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, from a branding perspective, that's on point. Little Onyx Tech Tots. All right, I like it. And
Yes.
you're doing a book there. So
Mhm.
tell me, what drives you? So what drives you through all of this? In other words, I don't know if you know my story.
Mhm.
If you looked in, I had this epiphany kind of 5, 6 years ago where I was just, I'm an older dude now. I'm kind of like at my midlife crisis. I was like, oh, what am I doing? And I went in. I was invited into a school. I was flying drones, and I got invited into a school to talk to kids about drones. And that day, I watched a bunch of kids get really excited about what I was doing, and the teachers looked at me and were like, "You need to be doing that." And so I did. And I have a mission. I have a real, my purpose. I built Drone Legends on this idea that inside every child lives a legend, right? And so that's why we're called Drone Legends. I'm more about the empowerment than I am the drone, right? So for me, that's a means to a bigger end. And it's about helping children realize their inner potential, or what I call their inner legend, right? And so we do that. So that's what drives me. But what drove me was kind of getting older and going, oh, wow, life moves pretty quick. And if you don't have an idea of what it is you're going to be, do, or a drive or something, you can end up kind of where I'm at 50, like, oh, no, what am I doing? I don't like what I do. So what drives you? Like, what is your driver to do all of
Yes.
this? Because you're busy.
Right. So, yeah. Super busy, huh?
Yeah, for real.
I want to say first for you, your drive and mission. I just love it. When I saw it online,
Oh, thanks.
even though it's on Instagram, just to touch the youth in that way is just so impactful. And that's like the
Thank
amazing
you.
kudos to you and what's giving your flowers. For me, what drives me is my family. So, not to be
Mm-hmm.
just to get super personal, my ancestors didn't have the ability to go to school, right? They
Right.
didn't have the opportunity to learn a lot of things, just to be honest, transparent about, obviously upbringing. So
Mm-hmm.
my drive is basically that pushing to people sometimes take education or higher learning uh they take advantage of it, and I mean, when I say advantage, like they don't take full advantage of it in a positive way, right? So
Mm-hmm.
for me, I take education and continuous learning very seriously because my family didn't have the ability to do that. My great grandmother, she lived to be 103 years old, and she
Wow.
was never, able
Yeah.
to like go to college and things like that.
Right.
My grandmother was never able to go to college either. So, I'll be the first person in my family to be a doctor at that level, to be Dr. Albert. So I really pushed myself to a higher level for them. They My parents brought me into this world. They were able to go to college and get their bachelor's degrees. And I feel like me and myself, I have to raise the bar because I have people that are looking up to me, my nieces and my nephews, my cousins, some family members that are distant. They are always reaching out and supporting me online. So my family is the drive that pushes me every day. Without their support and their sacrifices, I don't think I would be where I am today. And I have to do something to give back to them for what they've done to put me into this world and this place that I'm in.
Amazing. Because,
Yes.
there's a lot of people that I mean this in the most positive of ways. In other words, like it's funny how some people get that and others don't, right? Because I'm
Mm-hmm.
sure if we were to put Wendy at 5 and put you around your peer group, there's a lot of peers that experience the same kind of things that you did, right? They're
Mm-hmm.
probably similar lifestyles, similar backgrounds, similar families. And yet, out of that, and I don't know, this is just maybe a rhetorical question, just thinking out loud, is how does that happen to you to get this drive and purpose at obviously a very young age,
Yes.
versus your peers that some might not, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
others get stuck. You seem to have a very positive outlook, and I just don't know where that comes from. I mean, where do you think that comes from?
So for me, it comes from my parents.
Yeah.
I didn't mention it before. My dad served the United States Army. He retired
Okay.
at after 36 years. He was a lieutenant colonel. He was stationed
Mm,
at the Pentagon during retirement, but he's still doing a couple of things before he fully retires again. And with that, he instilled in me the ability to just have that drive and passion and believing within yourself. So growing up in like
Hmm.
Beaumont, we were really taught about certain things, in my environment out there. Me trying to push for tech and cybersecurity now, like no one when I graduated college like was talking about this, or I mean from high school was talking about this, or just trying to get us into it. It was always trying to push us to sports, be a
Yeah.
nurse, or working at the refinery. But
Hmm.
I saw something
Hmm.
more, something different, and I have to give that to both my parents. My mother, she puts the drive in me. My mother had suffered from a ruptured brain aneurysm in
Mm.
2011. And
Wow.
I actually found
Sorry.
her unconscious.
Sorry.
So seeing her go through that triumph of, learning to walk again, talking again, and rebuilding is the drive I have because, as you can see, my parents have done so much for me and made sacrifices in my life. And it can only make you want to be a much positive person. So I have no reason to be negative. I have no reason
Good.
to be lazy because everything that I have right now is just a blessing. And to have them push me to my highest endeavors. And then it's so funny sometimes my dad's like, he'll tell mom like, she's just doing things that I would never think about doing. So
It's a good
I'm
thing.
yeah,
That's a
I'm just
good
like
thing.
so hearing stuff like that and even seeing him like make comments because my dad is a very, he was a soldier, so he's a very straightforward man. He doesn't do social media. He's not all out there. He's very to himself and he just loves
Hmm.
his family. He does what he has to do on a daily basis. So him to see him come on social media sometimes and comment like about how proud he is of me and how he
Awesome.
sees what I'm doing, that means the
Gotta
most
love
to
it.
me more than just, if I was to get an award or something. I feel like their contributions to my success is what I prefer to see on a daily basis. So
It's
that's what
parenting.
drives and pushes me.
Parenting. So
Hmm.
important, isn't it? It really is.
Yes, it
Look, I
is.
mean,
It
just
is.
it is. I mean, just listening to your story, that's amazing, by the way. So, thank you to your dad for his service.
Thank you
Mom,
so
how's
much.
mom doing? Mom's
She's
fully
great.
recovered?
She's fully recovered. Her recovery from that, it took her about a year and a half after after the surgery because she had a surgery done out here in Houston, Texas, and Memorial Hermann
Hmm.
from her doctor, and we'll do checkups with her, and she's been great. My mom is actually going back to school to get her doctorate in religion now. So me
Did you
doing everything
inspire that?
I actually did. So
Yeah,
she's
good for you.
everything that I've done has inspired her. So I'm super proud
Yeah.
of her, beating the odds, going against the grain, and plus my nephews and nieces keep her super busy. So she she has more value. So she has a lot to
So
live for.
go back because I think there's this pivotal thing you said, and you went through it kind of quickly. And it's like you
Hmm.
found your mom unconscious on the
Yes.
floor.
Hmm.
Just you and her? Was there anybody else around, or was it just you?
It was my sister too. So that day was actually my grandmother's birthday, and we're
Mm,
going to one of my grandmother's favorite restaurants out there in the Beaumont, Texas area. And I remember we're getting ready. Me and my sister, older sister, were getting ready. And then I was like, I think she was just like, oh, go see if mom is ready. So at the time, my dog was like walking back and forth from like her room
mm,
to our room. So I walk in there, and then that's what I noticed. But I
mm,
was very calm in that situation. I was not hysterical. I went and told my older sister. We went ahead and we called 911. I called my grandparents and I called my uncle and I also called my dad. And at the time, my uncle, who he lived around the corner from us, he drove over, he got her up, ended up getting her dressed, and the ambulance took her and ended up life fighting her to Houston. At the time, my dad was stationed in the Houston, Texas area in Friendswood, Texas. He drove,
mm.
met us at the hospital, and my grandparents did at the same time. So I feel like in that situation, I matured a lot at a young age. I was only
Well,
about
that's where I'm going with
14.
this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that situation matured me very quickly and it made me just respect life so much because you never know anytime it can be taken from
Hmm.
you. And in that situation, my mom just told me like, even with her recovery, it's just what legacy do you want to leave behind? So if you were
Hmm.
to be
Hmm.
gone today, what can people
That's
say
it.
about you? So in that
That's
situation, I
it.
learned I have to
That's
move
it.
and give them something to say about me.
That's it. Not that people should have to go through that, but I got to tell you, at
Yes,
a young
yes,
age, you got to say, "Ooh, it could be pulled away from you at any minute."
it can.
And wow, and you've got good roots. Your parents are solid. That's important, right? I think that you
Hmm.
had these two great role models, and to see one of them must have shaken you. To see like your strong mother, like
Hmm.
boom, that could take her out. I have to imagine that that was pivotal for you in the sense of, oh, this is a gift. This is precious. This is wonderful, but also it could be taken away from you at any time.
Yes,
So
it
you
can.
you you can't mess around, right? Like you got to be on point, find your purpose, drive hard, work hard. make a difference, all of which you're doing. That's really, and I think that's amazing. That's really, really, thank you for sharing that, by the way. I didn't mean
No
to like
problem. I
interrupt
appreciate
anything.
you. No, I appreciate you so much. I'm fine. I'm comfortable talking about it because
Cool.
it's like
Okay.
something I experienced and I'm authentic about what I experienced. So them, I loved them to death. My grandmother, my parents, they all play a part. Even my aunts and uncles, you know, even in that situation, they all played a part to get Wendy to where Wendy is today. So
Yeah.
that's why I have to dedicate everything to my family. I wouldn't be here without, you know, my mom's brother, her
Hmm.
sister, my, you know, her sister-in-law, all of them. So I respect all of my dad's siblings as well.
So tell me about your entrepreneurial journey. How are you liking it so far? Is it's because I'm in one, we're both there.
Like,
And
yeah.
so it's, what that's like. It's like, right. So people think it's like, oh, overnight success. And it's not, it's hard. What do you love about it? What do you hate about it? Give me
I'm
both.
so happy you brought that up because I think people see what we do online and think that is luxury. And
Yeah.
I really want to understand that it's so much that happens in the back end before you see me making a post or reaching out to
Yeah.
somebody. I do enjoy the concept of the ideas. Sometimes meeting people at coffee shops or sometimes when I'm working, I get blasted with an idea. And
Yeah.
and then moment I'm like, oh, this is perfect. I put this together. The thing I hate the most is the orchestration of implementing that idea, right? Because then you have to get a team, you have to do this and that, and then it's always talking about the financial endeavors. It's always, it's always hard to work sometimes when people are always just driven by the monetary. When I'm driven about the
Hmm.
passion, and that's what I
Hmm.
hate sometimes a lot because. I feel like my passion will overtake monetary, but we're in a generation where people want the monetary, forget the passion.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
that's the
Yeah.
biggest thing I hate about it. But I would say I do love the drive of the ideas and pushing myself beyond my measures because I would have never thought that I would be try to be an entrepreneur. And you saying it is so funny to hear because I'm like, oh wow, that's really what I am. Like,
Yeah. Well, you're founder, CEO. That makes you
yeah.
an entrepreneur. Anything when you ever say founder in front of something,
Hmm.
that's entrepreneur. So,
I know, it's so
you're a
crazy.
business person, you're starting out, you're getting your stuff together. You've been at this now, what, like 4 years? And so, um, good. So talk about where you're going. So, okay, so we kind of where you've been, where you are. What's Wendy 2.0, right? Where are you going?
Mhm. Wendy 2.0, where I want to go is we're just going to hit the goals, right? I want to get those letters to be a doctor. Obviously, that's a really big thing for me.
Hmm.
But after that, I do want to put more emphasis on growing on cyber. I want to take OnyxCon to multiple cities that are always overlooking talent, right? Every time someone has a
Hmm.
conference or an event, they always go like to Houston. We're going to go to Phoenix. We're going to go to Dallas, San Antonio. We're going to go to Washington, D.C. What about those surrounding areas around there where there is talent? We're
Hmm.
always overlooking talent because we want to focus on the big picture in the major cities. I think
Right.
I want to start looking at those other cities like Mission, Texas, like
Hmm.
um Vidalia, Louisiana, Alexandria, Louisiana, maybe even like Chantilly, Virginia, places that are not like considered major cities because there's so much talent that's out there, but it's
Hmm.
constantly being overlooked because we only
Hmm.
focus on the big picture. And you have to realize the smaller picture is what takes you to that bigger picture. It's just like whenever you're learning to drive a car, you have to go through taking the written exam. You have to go through actually physically showing that you could drive a car. You have to go through scheduling your exam to show that you can drive a car, and then finally pass an exam to get your license. I feel like
Hmm.
everybody wants to go to straight getting your license, and that misses the steps that help you get to where you can get the license.
Right, right. So you want to niche down a little bit, create your own OnyxCon. I like the way that sounds too, by the way.
Hmm.
So
Thank you.
so start small. I mean, you want to
Hmm.
start small. That's great. I mean, starting small is how it starts. So
Hmm.
people, again, they see the overnight, they see something big and they think people just start big. Everything starts with like a single step, right? And
Yes.
so I think I like the idea of bringing those into smaller niche regions,
Hmm.
and building like little mini conferences that ultimately can
Hmm.
start to take shape and form and grow through word of mouth and social presence and things like that. And
Absolutely.
when it affects people in a positive way, they'll talk about it, right? So they'll go and spread the good word.
Yes, it's
So
more
yeah.
intimate, you can like resonate with it being more intimate. I feel like I love to go be a person with like even in tech, I like to go to the smaller conferences because I can really talk to you and have a
Hmm.
conversation. I can learn from you. I enjoy learning from other people. I enjoy learning from veterans in the industry. I just feel like sometimes in major conferences we forget about that. We push so much for branding and this and that. And don't want that. I want to talk to you face to face. Sometimes I want to
Hmm.
talk to you guys in the school. What can we do to piggyback off each other to excel, not just one person, but all together? What can we do to grow together?
Yeah, yeah, good. And so, all right, so you're into this entrepreneur journey. OnyxCon's coming, Tech Tots is coming, the Onyx Academy. So you've got a vision for Onyx, right? So your
Hmm.
brand is Onyx. While you're working at WiCyS, you're doing the WiCyS, you're over there working with them, but Onyx is your baby, and you're focused on women in tech, getting women into
Yes.
tech. I love it. What got you into tech? I mean, why tech? Did you just, were you always techie? Are you a techie person? Like, are you a gadget girl?
I'm actually a gamer, so it's a funny
Mm,
story. When I was 16 years old, I was telling people that I was gonna make the women's the first WBA game for women. Like how you see 2K16 or 2K15 came out and stuff like that. I was gonna make that for women. I was like, I'm gonna go to school, be a gamer, and make this for women. At the
huh,
same time, while I'm doing that, I was getting letters like from Baylor University, Liberty University, and I was learning about like the cybersecurity space too. I'm like, oh, that's super interesting. So at 16, I'm looking this stuff up, right? And then I see they have something called cryptography. And I was like,
mm,
oh wow, I want to be a crypto analyst. And like it's so funny because in my area where I'm from, I'm telling people like, yeah, I'm gonna either go to school to be a gamer, like a software engineer that's gonna develop games, or I'm gonna be a crypto analyst that works in cryptography. Like they thought crypto analyst was like some type of game. So that's why I'm saying like it's so important to teach people and educate them early on
right.
because cryptography is how you decipher code. And you can do this for like a lot of major agencies at a classified level or for an organization. And that was like my keen
Mm,
interest. So when I'm
huh,
going to college,
interesting.
I get to Mary Hardin Baylor. And I swear, right when I get to Mary Hardin Baylor, they canceled the gaming program. So I had a choice to pick
Mm,
from, which was network security, computer security, or web development. And at the time, computer security was the cybersecurity, but they were calling it computer security in 2015.
mm, yeah,
So I was like, okay, well, I'll just do computer security. So I felt like that was obviously like a reason why that had to happen for me. And I
sure.
feel like faith drove me to picking that as my major at the age of 18. So
Nice.
I was like, I really want to be a gamer. And I get there, there's no more gaming. I'm like, dang, okay. My dear.
But that opened a different door. But one
Hmm.
closes, sometimes they have to
Yeah.
close to open another one. Are you still a gamer?
Yes, I do play video games. I enjoy them a lot.
What do
Whenever
you
I'm
play?
not
What's your thing?
I love anything Mario related. I love Mortal Kombat. I'm trying to get into Spider-Man. I haven't had time to get a PS5 so I can play Spider-Man.
Uh-huh.
I do like to play like the NFL games. I like to play 2K.
Really?
I really used to love Grand Theft Auto series and Midnight Club.
Where do
So
you find time to play games in your
I
schedule?
I play on the weekends. The weekends I like have
Okay.
more time to myself.
Uh-huh,
Some
yeah.
weekends I'll read a book. So I love
Uh,
romance thrillers. I love sci-fi
okay.
books. I enjoy sci-fi a lot. So I'll either read a book or I will go ahead and I will play a video game.
Oh,
And
nice. Little
that's
little
yeah.
relaxation.
Hmm.
Nice. Very good. Well, wait, listen, take me out. I like uh ending this on a positive vibe.
Yeah.
Not that this hasn't been all positive, it has, but I want you to inspire us, take us out. For those ladies that are listening that are interested, or maybe they're interested, they've thought about it, or they never thought about it. Now they've heard you and they're like, ooh, that sounds like, yeah, I could do that. Inspire them, tell them what they need to hear from you.
Yes, of course. Well, hello, ladies. It's a pleasure to meet you. My name is Wendy Albert. I want to tell you that you can have it all. There is no box that you should put yourself in. Always be able to know that you can think outside the box. You can work that job, you can be a part of that organization, and you can build your own brand at the same pace. Just know that no one can define what you can do. You define what you do. So I really want you to know if you have this motivation and support from me, if you're looking for someone to push you to your next goal, or pushing for someone who just to be a listening ear. I'm the listening ear. I'm the person that's going to push you to where you need to be because I know that we all can make it in some type of way. And it's okay if you don't want to be an entrepreneur. That's not meant for everybody. It's gonna be a tough space for you to understand. If you're interested in getting into the tech space and striving within your goal or within your position, I'm all ears to push you to your next level. So I feel like right
Excellent.
now, coming together as women doesn't matter what your demographic is, we have to work together, any type of space together, especially within this economy. So being positive, pushing us to our next levels, and defining your goals and putting yourself outside that box they want to put you in is going to get you to your successful journey along the way.
Love it, love it, love it, love it. Wendy in Tech. We're going to send people there.
Okay,
Send me some stuff. We're going to put it all in the show notes. So anybody that wants to get a hold of you, they'll be able to get a hold of you. We'll link to your LinkedIn, your Instagram. They can DM you there. They can connect with you there. Super inspirational. I think a lot of people are going to get a lot out of this pod. Wendy, thank you so much. I've really enjoyed this. The background was amazing too. So very, very cool. Nice spot. Really nice to meet you. We'll stay connected too. This was really fun.
Yes, thank you, Scott. And you have a friend in me forever. So I support you till the end of the world and talk to you whenever you want to have a chat.
You got it. Love it. All right. We'll talk soon. All right.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Stay here.